Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. We have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Courtney Barnett, and that's How to Boil an Egg. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now going into this track, I can't say I know all too much about Courtney, but I know she's a big star down under, and she has a very strong following here in Europe too, in the UK in particular. This month has been an unreal month for music thus far anyway, for great music, and it has actually become somewhat rare for me to actually find a track that I genuinely didn't like. So this song has to keep up the momentum, so should we see whether it does or not? Well, I thought it was really good fun, and you could definitely tell all the little influences in here because they were very obvious in her sound. Everything from British indie music to American old-style country music to even 50s rock and roll is prominent in her sound. It definitely sticks out from the crowd, and that's definitely an important credential when it comes to being an artist releasing music in this month of all months, because this month has been of a high caliber. It's frenetic, it's joyful, it's laid back, and I actually really appreciate hearing a song that isn't so serious this month. There's lots of serious music around. This one's just having fun with it. Now, I can't really say how it compares to Courtney's prior material because I know she's had a break since releasing her last few tracks, since I haven't heard much by the artist either, but I will say as a casual listener like myself who's never really gone into her music, it's definitely worth giving a listen to. Production wise, this track is actually fairly gritty and surprisingly simplistic as well. I mean, the guitars aren't even properly in tune for the majority of the runtime here, but it kind of works with this old school overdrive to make this slightly clacky tone, which is reminiscent of some old rock and roll work, and it drove the mid-ground fairly well for me. The bass, on the other hand, was never entirely noticeable, but it did fill the low ground, and I never felt as if it was missing per se, but its tone just meant that it was more of a layer rather than anything to really concentrate on. And the same kind of goes for the percussion as well, since it did cut through and it did all the stuff you want it to do, but there were no moments where I really thought to myself, wow, that's a great kick sound, or those cymbals sound great here, or the fills really stuck out to me, or anything like that. And I think that's because they were sort of like a background instrument, but again, they did the job, just nothing special. I do like the vocals though here, and how raw and how dry they were left, and it showcases Courtney's personality really well, and it worked really well alongside those sort of clacking guitars. When it comes to the musicality of this track, it reminded me a lot of the track Going Up in Flames by Morning Runner, which came out about 10 years ago or something like that now. It combines this very stabby indie style with some older influences that are very obvious in the progressions of which I really enjoyed. The hook is catchy, the vocal performance is almost funny since it is so laid back that you can't help but smile as she sings. It doesn't vary all too much though, nor in the progressions or the melodies or anything. But I can't say that's really a distracting factor or much of a negative, because I didn't find that much of a problem when listening to it. Also, the ending of the track is a little haphazard, and although it fits the sort of careless style, just throw any funny bits in there, I did find it a little bit rushed and as if they couldn't come up with a proper ending. And it's not distracting on your first listen, but maybe after a couple of listens or so, if you're in a car or just listening to some, in an environment like that, you might be pushed to really switch the track during the last 30 seconds or so, so I guess it kind of hinders the replay quality. Lyrically, I love the themes that were expressed here, and I really could relate to this every day is worse than the last idea, because being an adolescent, it kind of feels that way. So she really did connect with me, and I could see her connecting with many other listeners too, especially her own fans. So all in all, it's a quick, fun track that is both catchy and lyrically very sound. So it's definitely worth a listen if you're a casual listener. If you're a fan, I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it. So I gave it a G rating of 7 out of 10, which is well above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.